Hello and welcome to Pens, Paint and Whiskers. Back for part 3 of my experimenting with colour. And I've got most of these little colour challenge guys done. The last two, so in part 1 of this, I picked all the colour palettes. And for these two here, I picked, they're a little bit hard to see, but I picked a peacock kind of type of shade and this color palette, and I'm not that sure if I like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a re-swatch. This is all my little printouts here. So I'm going to swatch them again because I can and because I want to. And these are the color swatches I did use, so I leave them aside. And sometimes I was picking the colors and sometimes they don't. Now I know I want to say this challenge, the reason I did this challenge was so that I would hopefully use colors that I don't normally use, i.e. green and a little bit of gold and yellow. Unfortunately, I picked, did that fall out? I picked one anyway. Okay, and yeah, hopefully give the colors that I never really pick a kind of a choice, kind of a give them some exercise, so to speak. But yeah, I did the background on these guys and I realized that the peacock tones don't quite work. So I want to do another swatch and pick another palette. And I like this one a lot more. It does look like it will fit in with this little guy or this fella here. So I leave that aside. And these fell out, but I'm thinking, yeah, I could leave those back. Now I know I might be seen as breaking the rules, but my channel, my art, so I kind of want to actually have a look at some of these little palette swatches that I got from Pinterest, and I'll pick one of them and go with that instead. So yeah, I do sort of prefer these. And in my next challenge along this same line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these little palettes and I'm going to draw girls. So this is all boys, so I'll be drawing girls. Sort of a reversal in that I had the drawings and then I did the challenge picks. I'm going to pick these and then I'm going to draw something around them. So I much prefer that palette here, and I do prefer that one. So yeah, that's how I'm going to roll with the last part, because every other palette that I have been drawn has really worked out and I've been really happy with it. That one not so much, and sometimes that happens, but if it happens, there's nothing, you can always, there's nobody forcing you to do these things, so you can try and mix it up your own way. Now again, that being said, I'm breaking my own rule again in that these are colours that, that I do use quite a lot of, but honestly I don't think green, I drew some for the background off camera, some colours, and I don't honestly think green, apart from maybe a very mint green, which it wasn't, could have been, I don't think they would go with this, so I'm not going to do that. Now they are quite a similar tone. It's very similar actually. So what I'm going to do is I have my graphits and my alcohol oohoo's here. So I'm going to try and discern from these what is the best. So they are little small swatches. So I can see already that there's wines here and some greys that might be nice together. Or certainly very coffee, kind of brown even, or maroon. And if you do this challenge yourself, I would recommend doing it. And I believe there's even websites out there that allow you to do such a thing, save colour palettes and even swatch and pick your own. I would recommend doing this challenge. And I also recommend not being too hard on yourself. So I'm just going to finish off this part of this little series, and then I will do these same colour swatches and I'll be drawing girls in comparison to all my gentlemen here. So I've picked a few colours I do like from my graphics. And apologies for, for the noise, they are quite rattly. So there's some dark kind of heading towards the light again, unfortunately. See, can we try and match up some of these color palettes? And it is an experiment, and it is quite a fun little exercise. And you'll kind of get to know and use different colors and see what colors go, or what contrasting colors are. So it is quite fun, and that's why I'm doing it here, and I would recommend it. And I'd also recommend swatching the colors. I didn't in my last video when I made Ranulph here, but it actually turned out very well. So yeah, I would challenge anybody to do this. Now, do I know I don't like that one? So there's a similar palette here in that there are wines and purples. And what I have to do is make sure what's going to be skin and clothing and hair all together. And of course you can get shade and shadow. So these two I think I will keep. So one will be the main shade and the other the shadow. So that will be those two colours. Now as for sort of a rosy, there's a rosy pink there. Or something rosy. Rattle, rattle. I keep these in neat little boxes, all stacked together nicely. But now I'm going to move over to my oh-hoo-hoos, because I really don't see colours in the graphic set that are, I don't know if I'm happy with that. But we'll have a look. So that's why swatch cards are always important too. Yeah, a kind of a dusky rosy pink. And so much to choose from. RV120, so there's a nice thistle here. Yeah, I like this thistle a lot, actually. I commonly use it. It's very sweet looking. Yeah, I think I'll add that in as that colour. Or there's a nice antique fuchsia, so R250. And I think I'll actually add that one in instead, or maybe even together. Here it is. So yeah, I much prefer that one actually. R250, yeah, that's a much nicer colour. And also I will say, once I have drank my coffee, I'm working in Zealer 350 GSM watercolour paper. And I'm working with oh-hoo-hoo and graphite markers. Now, it's quite difficult to see, or I'm not sure what I determine from these colours, but they look to be quite a kind of dark blue, or a grey blue even. So I'm thinking B250 and 260. So, of course, not every marker pack or pencil, whichever you want to do a colour challenge like this in. Can't assume that everybody has markers or works in markers. But not every challenge is, not every pack has the same variety or tone of colour. So of course, if you draw any of these colours, they can be all up to your own interpretation. And 260, yeah, I think I prefer that. Certainly for these little mix of colours. And there looks to be a darker blue, so even a more grey blue. So I'm going to push the boat out on that one and try and get a more of a grey. BG 1103. Prefer that. We'll see, can we get one now? So it looks like there's a charcoal. There's this kind of MG060. And sometimes I don't know whether they're blue or green or grey. So I'm just going to have to go with it. And certainly in the light, or the failing light, as ever, I'm not sure. So BG, I'm looking in my pack here for a BG and I have it. So sometimes a grey or a blue grey can muddy a piece with it. So hopefully it's not going to do that. BG 1103. And oh yeah, BG 1105. Yeah, I prefer that. I prefer that colour there. Now I might try and get a smoky grey. So Ohuhu I find are quite good for their smoky greys. So I want one here that kind of has a little bit of blue in it. Tiny bit of blue, maybe the CG1108. And once I find that, I will be happy. And I have found it. So, and it certainly mixes in a little bit. So I'm happy with this fella here standing being in those colours, because he's got quite a lot of stripes on him. So I'm happy going with that for him. Now his compatriot here, yeah, I'll have to decide what colours. Now he has obviously two hands showing, so I don't have to think about his skin a lot. But I'm thinking, I wonder, could he be blue himself? Or pink? I'm not sure. I'm going to say skin on pink. And skin maybe potentially second choice. And then the clothing, I'll have to work out stripes of blues and lovely wines, I think. Now, as for his similar friend here, now his similar friend indeed could be blue. I prefer, yeah, maybe one pink and one blue. And his friend has wings here. So some of these tones could be worked up for wings. Now, if you can see, there is, gosh, it's getting very, very dark. There's a little bit of maroon here. So I'm going to see Ohuhu I don't find are great for their maroon tones. So R16, it's telling me, according to this swatch sheet, but I don't know. I've never found them great for their maroons. Well, that one's not too bad. Yeah, I'll keep that one in. I'll keep that there. And yeah, so I'll have to think about this fella now. Okay, so he might have blue skin. How and ever. What I'll do is 250. So I'm going to keep similar tones. 250 and 260. These are, I'm going to just block them in. These I think are going to be his skin colours. So it's a nice kind of warm pastel. This is going to be what he looks like, and he has sort of a flowing kind of little bit of robe thing going on. So he does have a lot of skin here. And he certainly has wings. So, and as for hair, I'm not sure. We could leave that white. There is another character up above with white, and he's got a little flower crown around his head, so I might do a little bit like Brimstone here. I made his flames in acrylic markers. I'd probably make this little fella's flower crown in acrylic markers too. And he's got wings. So the wings now are going to be quite sparkly. So perhaps in a short I might go over them with acrylic markers and see. And then my next video with using these same prompts, I'm going to draw ladies with them. So I'm going to pick colors and they'll be all ladies instead. And rather than sketching the ladies and then doing the prompts around them, or the color prompts around them, I'm going to pick the color prompts and then I'm going to draw whatever it is comes up. So that will be even more of a challenge, I think. We'll just do this fella's skin here. So pink hands, unusual. So that's hinting that in now. This fella, has he got a wine? I think he might have a wine kind of, it looks a little bit like a toga on him. So he might have wine actually. And the wine in this R16. Now, do I dare? Yeah, I think so. And I might finish that off in a different, maybe kind of the greys here. Well, or one of the blues maybe. And as you can see, I've done the little meadow that they're both sitting in. I've done that in acrylic marker too. So his flower crown will match in. I'm really confident that it will. And his compatriot here, he's, what colours? Well, he himself is pink. I'm going to work this more off camera. I know it's a shorter video this time, but I think working it more off camera would be beneficial to me. Now, that being said, I might just work up his skin tone a little bit more. So he's in 250, so B250, and his skin tone has, I picked 260 for the tone, so he's obviously going to have a little bit more shadow. And with this color challenge, you can pick, say you picked a green in it, you can pick a shadow, a darker green to be the shadow, and say like a lime green to be the base, the highlight. It's all up to you, and every pack of you know, crayons, markers, pencils, whatever you decide to do a challenge like this in, which I hope you do, all different colors, different tones, so it's all up to your own interpretation, and at the same time you're still experimenting and having fun with color, which is what I like. And you learn what colors look best together. Yeah. And when I put my Pit Artist marker on his wings, it'll highlight those sort of insect looking segments. So yeah, he's getting better looking. Certainly this challenge has been very, very entertaining for me to do. I hope it's been entertaining for you to watch. Once again, if you're new here and you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. And why not consider liking and subscribing? I do new videos pretty much every week. And I live stream maybe every 2 weeks, depending. And if you've been watching me from the start, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And stay tuned for the lady version of this challenge, because the gentlemen here, they've been more than compliant, we'll say, and very, very gentlemanly indeed with my colour plans and colour whims. But for now, I'm going to go because I will be in the dark before very, very long. Bye.